Friday, August 4th, 7th of the year 2022. It's 1:32 p.m. And Tracy, could we have a roll call, please?
Okay. Director Boyd?
Here.
Director Decker?
Here.
Director Harvey?
Here.
Director Lohman?
Yep.
Director Slater-Carter?
Present.
Okay, present and counted for. For the president's statement, I think I will just observe the August-September newsletter has gone out, I believe, and has a bunch of good stuff in there. Talks a little bit about maintaining our water infrastructure. And as I've been reminding everybody, this is a community that is very good with wise water use. And there's a little bit of discussion on that. And keep up the good work. We just have to get through this, and we're in a unique community that we're very well situated, but it is still a rough go. So keep up the good work. Thank you for doing that. Okay, do we have any oral comments for items other than those on the agenda? Catherine.
I will just say I saw a quick article that said Northern California is doing much better than Southern California at conserving water. And I found that interesting. Yeah, I found that an interesting statement since we're the ones who have the water and they're the ones who take our water. And oh, by the way, the governor is talking about starting again the Delta Tunnel project. So pay attention and be vocal about it, because it's going to take money and resources from our end of the state to give it to the end of the state that doesn't conserve water.
The thing to stop that last time was not the people in Northern California. It was the lawsuits, all the myriad of lawsuits, I believe, stopped it.
It shows the importance of supporting those myriads of lawsuits to protect the environment.
Yeah.
We also at the time blew up the aqueduct, as I recall.
Blew up the what, Rick?
The aqueduct.
I don't remember doing that. I don't know where you were.
I think it's time on to the consent agenda. Let's go into the consent agenda. Does anyone have anything to pull for consideration? And if not, can I have a motion for the consent agenda, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Let's see. So I believe that's 10 items on the consent agenda. Minutes, financial statements, warrants, which in layman language is checks, the SAM flow report, the monthly review of the current investment portfolio, the connection permit applications received, the water production report, the rain report, the monthly solar energy report, and the monthly public agency retirement service report for May. Okay, Catherine's back. How about that? Okay, so we had a motion and a second. Tracy, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Okay. Director Boyd?
Aye.
Director Decker?
Aye.
Director Harvey?
Aye.
Director Lohman?
Aye.
Director Slater-Carter?
Yes.
All right, the consent agenda is adopted by a vote of 5-0.
I'd like to make a comment on this. It was one that Director Dye brought up at SAM, and that is if you go to the SAM flow report, Granada Community Services District's flow was 18.16% of the 100%. Montara's was the same MGD, more or less, but it was 18.18%, which leaves the city of Half Moon Bay at 78% of the SAM plant flow, or 63.66%. Now they're suing us because they don't think they should pay for what they need to pay for what they signed in the contract. And yet their contract only allows them up to 50% of the major flow. They're certainly within their limits right now, but maybe they're spending money where they don't need to on putting so much flow into the plant because so much of the plant is paid for on a flow percentage.
Okay, let's go to new business. New business item 1, review and possible action concerning remote meetings during emergency conditions under Government Code Section 54953 of the Brown Act.
So moved.
Thank you, Scott. This is the item that we have up every first meeting in the month. It allows us to continue with the remote meetings, the online meetings. So recommendation is to adopt the resolution next in order. Thank you.
So we have a
Second motion.
and a second. Discussion. Tracy, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Okay. Director Boyd,
Aye.
Director Decker,
Aye.
Director Harvey. Director Harvey,
Aye. Aye.
Director Loman,
Yes.
Director Slater Carter.
Yes.
Okay, by a vote of 5-0, including the pirate vote from Jim, the motion passed. Thank you, Jim. Aye, aye. Actually, I'll skip her, right? Maybe that's it. New business item 2, review and possible action concerning the employee wellness program.
Yeah, thank you. That is an item that we have been brought up. I think this is now the 4th year at least. So we established a wellness program that's for our full-time employees, where essentially the district contributes $25 monthly towards a health or fitness expenditure of anyone's choice. That's done, of course, only upon proper documentation of the employee. And we have been doing that because we actually get a grant from Association of California Water Agencies Joint Powers Insurance Agency. So that's our workers' comp insurance. And we got, again, a $272 grant from them for this program. This board has authorized this program from September to September each year. And if all employees participate and ask for the full monthly reimbursement, the total annual cost for MWSD would be $2,120. This year, the MWSD employees used a total of around $600 to date. So the recommendation is to authorize up to $2,120 of district funds for contributions to the MWSD full-time employees' participation in the wellness activities of $25 per month per employee after proof of payment by the employee. And I just wanted to thank Tracy for taking care of most of the paperwork for this grant. Thank you. That's the staff report.
Okay, thank you, Clemens and Tracy. Do we have any discussion?
I'll make the motion that we support it.
I agree. I second.
Okay, once, twice, any further comment or question? All right, Tracy, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Okay. Director Boyd,
Aye.
Director Decker,
Aye.
Director Harvey,
Aye.
Director Loman,
Yes.
Director Slater Carter.
Yes.
Okay, by a vote of 5-0, the motion passes. I'd like to thank Clemens and Tracy. This is a great thing. I'm really grateful that you attend to this and have for several years now. Every little thing helps. So, okay. Item 3, review and possible action concerning 2022 water system master plan updates.
Yes, Scott, thank you very much. The Montara Water and Sanitary District is not subject to prepare an urban water master plan, but we actually prepare the same document but we call it the Water System Master Plan, and that's done every 5 years. We completed the most recent update in 2017. It's now due for the update in 2022. And so we would like to proceed with essentially an update to the master plan. And what we're really looking here for is that supply and demand analysis, for example, that's including an updated evaluation of the supply reliability capacity. So we're really looking at our sources. What can we produce? And what are actually our needs, current needs and future needs? So we're looking there at the guiding documents from the planning agencies, Coastal Commission, for example, or San Mateo County. And we're also going to look at our distribution system very closely, our storage capacity, all of that, what we currently need, use, what we need, and what we will need in the future. And from that information, we then really develop a 20-year capital improvement program. So it's about time to do that again. We have Tanya here in case the board has any questions. The recommendation is to authorize the GM and district water engineer to initiate the work on the 2022 Water System Master Plan update. So we would bring this back to the board once we have a draft that we feel comfortable bringing to the board and the public. Thank you.
I have a question. I am not sure every month when we get the bills for the engineering cost, a part of that is for the capital improvement program. A part of that monthly bill is set aside for capital improvement costs connected to capital improvement plan. So this is, in as far as cost is concerned, a continuing monthly expense.
That's true.
How exactly does that fall into place with this master plan? Are we paying, again, additional money for the master plan, even though every month we are already continuing to pay for the updates?
You want to take that, Tanya?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Director Decker, for the question. What you see monthly is we currently the charges related to the CIP from the water engineering team is we're in the process of designing the pillarage improvements. Some of it also includes hydraulic modeling that would be related to the master plan. So some of the pre-work has already been done. So there's no, you're not being, if the question is, are you being charged twice? No. Is this going to be additional cost? Yes. But it's basically the cost of doing business of the water system, and the cost should be really low, minimal. We do need to have a comprehensive look at the alternatives, as the general manager mentioned. The alternatives, this board has charged us always with the task of making sure that this community is secure with its water supply for generations to come. And so the sustainability and reliability of the supply is what we will be looking for, and we'll be looking to confirm, and looking at what other sources have come into fruition or can now be used. We, for example, will be employing some help from the sewer engineer from Pippin to help with the potential recharge alternatives. So wastewater treatment to indirect reuse. So I hope I'm answering your question. Stop me if I'm not, if I'm going too far, but
No, I understand the work volume. I just want to understand the cost volume better. What are the additional costs for this master plan?
We estimate the offer to be over 6 months for about $30,000.
That makes me understand it better.
Thank you.
And as Tanya said, there are minimal cost from the sewer engineer as well as from Mark Wojcik, our hydrogeologist. who's
That's
also
right, Mark as well.
Right.
going to participate in this, but more on the sidelines.
Okay.
Catherine?
I think that it's important for us to do routine checkups on what our use is, what our supplies are, and what our future water needs are going to be, so we don't get suddenly surprised with a sudden well going out and, oh my goodness, we don't have enough water or something like that. And I believe we can do it as a casual basis between staff and board and so on, but I think this is a good idea to have a plan that we can show the public of what's going on. And where we are, so that we can keep our public educated. I see this as an important part of our not only transparency, but our long-term planning. There are many places in California right now who are being caught unawares of what kind of shortage they're having. And as a small district, we can't afford to need to go to the big guys and say, oh, please help us, because they will go, oh, yeah, we'd be happy to. So I think we need to keep up with this. And I think continuing this is a great idea. And I'm very pleased to support it.
Okay, so we're looking for, I already closed the item. As you're looking for authorization to proceed?
Yes, we're looking for authorization to proceed with the master plan.
Let me just ask, this amount is budgeted in this year's budget, correct?
Yes, we have money for this in the budget. We have flexibility in the budget, and that is part of it, yes.
Okay, I'll just add the comment, kind of amplifying Catherine's. I remember a time when there was a lot of skepticism in the community about whether or not this system was really prepared to handle the things that would come its way. And I just love that we've got a master plan that is so well informed and that we've been executing according to it. And that we've got a number of years to demonstrate that the work that went into the planning actually bears out in practice. I think this is excellent. It provides a really strong basis for helping the community know what the state is and have an understanding of what's going to be required to keep it this way and to make it better. And this is really good for the community for when they have questions. And from time to time, we need to put that out there and go, hey, this is here. We're not just hand waving. This is the basis of, just from a body of actual good, hard, professional engineering work. It's a much more comfortable position to be in than back in the day when people were like, how do you know you have enough water? Are you sure? How would we know? And it was just a whole lot of questions, a lot of fear and doubt. And it's a very different time now.
I wanted to say that we're actually doing more than other agencies in this regard. Mm-hmm. So large agencies are asked to prepare this urban water management plan. We call this water master plan. So that's what we're talking about. We're doing what large agencies are required to do. Small agencies are not, and as Catherine points out, small agencies can be surprised about their water supply status. But beyond the master plan, we actually have an active program in place where we monitor the health of our aquifers. And we do this on an ongoing basis. This is separate. And we do get separate updates from our hydrogeologist about the health of the aquifer, also about every 4 or 5 years. And we will utilize this information in the water system master plan. That's not a given that agencies actually look at monitoring wells surrounding the production wells. So we're taking more than just the water levels in the production wells. We're monitoring the health of the aquifer around it. We want to remain sustainable. That's very important, particularly in the state in these drought conditions. And so we will get the information that we receive from our hydrogeologist into the water system master plan. It's going to be worked in, but we're also going to get a separate update when we have the necessary information together from our hydrogeologist directly about the health of our aquifer.
Yeah, okay, Kathy. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we're looking for a motion to authorize the general manager and the district water engineer to initiate the work on the 2022 water system master plan update.
So moved. Oops, I'll second.
I heard a motion from Catherine and a second from Rick.
Yes.
Other way around.
So a motion
I'm
from
not
Rick.
petty.
Catherine. We'll take whatever Tracy writes down, I think.
Yep. And we won't argue about it.
Do we have any further discussion or questions? Tracy, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Okay. Director Boyd,
Aye.
Director Decker,
Aye.
Director Harvey,
Aye.
Director Lohman,
Yes.
Director Slater Carter.
Of course, yes.
All right, the motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight, Tanya. Let's see, now we've got review and possible action concerning local agency formation commission special district member.
I can take this if you want.
Oh yeah, please, Rick. This is, I want to thank Rick for bringing this to our attention. So Rick, just go ahead. Thank you.
We had Josh Cosgrove decided to leave and terminate his service, I guess. We had an alternate, Katie, who's now been officially moved up to representative, I guess you'd say. So we need to fill in the alternate position. I think we should nominate Virginia Corrali because she's on 2 special districts. I think she's got all the qualifications, and that would be my motion.
So that is the motion. Do we have a second? And then we can discuss.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. So motion by Rick, second by Peter. Some discussion. Any discussion?
And again, this is just nominating her. It's not electing her. In the future, they'll, assuming other people want to do this, they will gather all the names and send another letter out saying, please vote between these candidates. So this is not the end.
Well, I like that you're on top of this, and I think Virginia, I don't know, I was impressed when she joined us for the academy. I was really glad she was here. Well, okay, we have a motion and a second. Tracy, could we have a vote, please?
Okay. Director Boyd,
Aye.
Director Decker,
Aye.
Director Harvey,
Aye.
Director Loman,
Yes.
Director Slater Carter.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion is approved 5-0. Okay, now we move on to reports. Sewer Authority of Mid Coast side.
I'll do that. Let me see. As the most important thing, my opinion, is on July 11th, the board, on a majority vote, and I voted differently, wanted to turn down a program that Keishan had wanted to develop that and use that helped agencies with their environmental training of their staff. And also it looked at the documentation for the staff. And was an ongoing program. So that was turned down. I'll get back to my comment on that. And on July 25th, the major agenda item was we were going to have the annual comprehensive fiscal report, the ACFR. And we were going to continue that. That's a project we started last year, and it's a higher level of financial disclosure that's gone over by other accountants and so on, auditors, for an agency. And the first year takes a lot of work. After that, getting your ACFR certification, it shows that you're doing an extraordinary job on your financial reporting. So I was pleased that the board went along with that. The other was on the 25th that the board adopted for non-representative employees the COVID supplemental sick leave program, which has already been adopted by the state. And so we decided to adopt it for our non-representative employees too. So that's pretty much what's been going on at SAM for the last couple of meetings. After talking to Keishan about this ISO 14001, we need to keep in mind that the SAM is going to have a bunch of employees retiring soon. And I'm not comfortable with what our training program is and certification program. There's so many things in that plant that are one-off of a standard plant. And that so much of this stuff is known to the crew, but quite a few of them are going to be retiring in the next 5 years. So one of the things I would like to do, and I'd like to get the support from the board, is ask Keishan to work with the general managers and with the board to put together some kind of training and information plan, documentation of what all of these guys who have worked there 30 years, they have been through generations of sewer plant technology, some of which are still first generation and in operation, and others of which are up-to-date computer stuff. And how that blends and how that program keeps going, and how SAM keeps going, I think is very important, and how we do our training. And so I'd like to see that program or those discussions as agenda items at SAM so that we can all be working towards a smooth transition when people do retire. Some of the problems we had at the plant during COVID were solved not by engineers, but by our extremely talented and informed crew, knowing, oh, wait, I don't need to use this chemical, which is unavailable and I need it desperately, but I can supplement or substitute this chemical to get a similar reaction and reduction in BOD and COD at the plant. And we need to figure out how we're going to be passing that kind of history on. I think it's important for every single one of us. I haven't talked to Half Moon Bay about it, but it appears, given that they're at 2/3 of the usage of the average dry weather plant, that they probably should be very concerned about this too. So that's what's been going on at SAM, and I haven't been following Midcoast Council, sorry.
Was some of the concern around somebody getting, interested in an ISO standard, or is it the training topic in general?
It was the specific ISO standard, and it was the specific cost, and it was under the amount of money that Keishan has at his direction to spend without coming to the board. But everybody was focusing on the $30,000 instead of what the real need is, in my opinion, and that is the continuity and of training and culture and knowledge at SAM to make it through the next 10 years.
I was present in that meeting, and I voted against the ISO schedule. I am not against putting down on paper what the ISO demands. I am just against paying an organization $30,000 to do that, and then continuing to pay them $4,000 a year to keep that certification in place. I'm of the opinion that we can use all of those rules that are demanded by ISO and make our own standards without paying that money.
Mm-hmm.
So I have experience with adopting and training and utilizing and staying up to date with standards. The cost to create internal documentation, someone bears that cost if you do it internally or if you sub it out to a vendor. My experience has been that if the vendor is wisely chosen, you can get the job done for less than it would cost to do it inexpertly in-house, because you get a much better product. It happens sooner.
But the ISA rules and regulations are freely available.
Peter, I'm not done yet. In my experience, I'm not speaking to the particulars of this because I didn't read the item, but just in my experience, working with an expert organization has benefits. The price might be a little on the high side. I don't know. I'd have to look at what the actual work proposal entailed. But in terms of year over year maintaining a certification, that's the $4,000 sounds like a truly nominal cost. So whatever happens, I am concerned, and we have taken on the subject before at SAM about making sure that we're ready when people retire and doing the spending that we need to do. Things that we've done in the past have included hiring additional staff so they had time to essentially train up through the organization to be ready when the most experienced people we had left. And so that left them with some opportunity to be mentored by the coming retirees. So we've done things where we've spent money. I think that all worked out pretty well based on what I recall. So that kind of planning, whatever form it takes, I'm glad that Keishan is giving it thought. I hope the board finds a way to help Keishan get that organization prepared for this.
Well, what I would like to be able to do is say to Keishan that my board agrees with me that this planning for the future is important. And the ISO argument, Peter, is dead. It's gone. It's not going to come back. But I think it's important that we discuss the pros and cons of how we're going to go forward with this for the benefit of Sam and each of the member agencies.
Fully agree with that.
Okay.
So I will ask for an agenda item on this then at Sam and say that in conversation, my board members have agreed with me on the importance of this, and we can go on from there.
Sounds good.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. All right, and it sounds like we don't have much on the Coast Council tonight. CSDA and LAFCO?
Neither one has had a meeting recently, so there's nothing new to report. So
Okay. Attorney's report, Christine.
No report. Thank you.
All right. Director's reports. I was excited to see a little bit of rain a few days ago. Here we are this time of year. It's a pleasant surprise. I know, I think the reading was 1/100th of an inch. I say we take anything we can get. And there have been plenty of mornings where everything's wet in the morning. So we get the tremendous benefit of a little bit of wetness from the fog. One of these days, Clemens, maybe we talk about what we've learned about fog collection. I don't know where we stand on that, but I don't know, maybe it's interesting. That's my director's report. How about general manager report?
No report.
Okay. Anything to capture for future agendas? If not, then we are going to recess briefly. We're going to bid a fond farewell to our public members, or the members of the public who are here now. And then we're going to reconvene in closed session. We've got a few items: conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, City of Half Moon Bay versus Granada and Montara, and even Sam. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, one potential case, public employee performance evaluation for the general manager, and then conference with real property negotiators for the property at 770 Hart Street in Montara. Christine, do we need to say anything about that one? No conflicts of interest on that one as far as we know?
As far as we know, unless any director has a property within 500 feet of that address.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's thank the public, and thank you for your attendance, for your participation, and thank you for being here. We are in recess. Good night, Tanya. And how about we come back at 8:15?
Tracy, in case you have heard, I will come by tomorrow to sign that one check.
Okay, I have the rest of the work.